Jyubei, are you? Let's talk. Why did you come to Bluelock?
Glamorous.
I said, what is your goal, damn it, ego?
To score goals that is as glamorous as me. I must score goals and win the game in glamorous style. Only the stylish of goals will conceive.
Hate to break it to you, buddy, but after the second selection match in the 4v4, you basically fell off. No goals, no assists, just you swatting balls away for the offense, for the defense, man. You're just a defender. Your stats are shit, and that's basically it. You're basically just going to be a defender for the rest of the Bluelock career, if I'm being honest with you, bro. You peaked in that 4v4. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, today I present to you the glamorous king, Jyubei, are you? Now there's a few things I gotta waffle and yap about before I really get into this video. This video is not to talk about how Aryu being a bad player. This is more of a striker related video, like he is not living up to his striker potential. So we're going to be talking about him throughout the stages and how he could have actually been a deadly striker. Let's talk about his first selection. First selection, we actually have nothing to know about him. He was the second fastest goal scorer, and he was never an insane player compared to Vin and the other top tier players, as even Vin states that he's only there because he's the fastest goal scorer, and proof of this ranking system for the second selection is shown as Bachira comes right after Isagi, meaning that it's whoever scores the 100 goals the fastest that makes it gets their numbers. That's how it was ranked off of, not actually who's better than who. So for anyone thinking Aryu was the second best at the time, no, that is not true. Now, he is still a relatively good player, as he has good awareness, as he understands that he probably couldn't take on Bachira, so he sent Tokimitsu to go after him immediately. He is pretty good at commanding, similar to Karasu, just not on Karasu's degree, as he also commands Nico to activate the genius technique in the reverse game. But let's track back to second selection. In second selection, his first real motive is trapping a ball that was supposed to go to Nagi because of his insane height. He makes use of it very well offensively and defensively, though in Bluelock he does limit his offensive abilities with his height, but it's insane what he can do. He can catch basically any ball in the air within his perimeter that he can physically reach, but if it's on the other side of the field, he's not reaching that, obviously. Now we also have to talk about the fact that his long legs can shoot very good distances, or he can very well catch you off guard. If you don't get the ball away from him and he's around you, you're done, just like how he scored against Isagi. And he is very good at realizing when his ego is being tested, as Bachira tested his ego to see if he would really go for the ball that could only be reached by him, which is a similar feat to when Sei passed it to Shido and Shido reached it. Bro, Chigiri always gets done dirty with these moments, bro. It's actually pretty sad, but it is to be Chigiri's speed, so it makes sense at the end of the day. But yeah, Aryu does have good awareness, as he also was aware of Sei about to shoot that ball, and his reaction speed is pretty fast, but it's not as fast to stop every ball, as he was not able to stop the Kaiser Impact X direct shot, as it took Bao to actually stop that, as he did even confirm that. Thank you for covering me, that was stylish, king. And then for the second selection, he doesn't really do much after he's tested by Bachira. He does a really good job actually in covering Chigiri. He doesn't stop Chigiri every time, but he actually does a better job compared to what most people would be able to do against Chigiri. In the World 5 match, what can you really say? Everyone got dog watered. The third selection, he just used his height to also move the ball offensively up, as him and Ishikari were using headers to support Vin to score goals, so he was still being an offensive beast in the first selection. It came as a fact that ego put him as a defender, and it makes sense because every other offensive position was dominated by better players. And if you don't want to believe me, look at his stats in the NEL. They're really dog water. I'm so sorry. The only reason he's in Bluelock or even relevant to the story is because of his defense at this stage and how he's actually tall. Yeah, and speaking of which, he has an 80 overall, which he carries to the NEL. His best feats in the U20 match was just stopping Say. That's pretty much it. If anyone recalls any other moment, I haven't reread the whole match again. I probably will when I'm doing another Say video, but that's for another time. I did reread the whole Aryu'S match, so I did notice some moments where Aryu was really good. When Kaiser and Ness tried to double team Lorenzo, Aryu came into play, and then whenever he needed to swat the ball away, like especially against Kunigami, he was just always there. And then he even tried to stop Kaiser from scoring, which would have caused a penalty either way, but Kaiser still scored on him, which is actually one of my favorite Aryu panels of all time, which doesn't have him saying glam, glam, glam. Pretty much after that, he doesn't really do anything except just using a bunch of defensive stops whenever he's needed. Now that we've talked about that, we also have one final thing to talk about, which is his NEL rankings. Now the first game is, he only has 5 mil, and he's actually the lowest blue locker at the moment, wanted by Urarara Reds. In the second game, he goes up 20 mil all the way to 25 mil, which makes sense because FC Barcha is the weakest team, and their playstyle concerns entertainment and high flying dribbling, and their passes are going to be high flying, and how hyper they be. So obviously Aryu would be deflecting a lot of Bachua's insane dribble moves by especially if they tried like high flying passes, he would be able to swat all of those away. So he must have had a lot of defensive stops, which is why this was his best game among the 4 games in Bluelock. In the third and fourth game, he just gets 10 mil increases, so it means he played about the same for Manchester City as he did for Bayern Munich. He at the moment is wanted by Marseille, as you could see the M and then the stars, so I guess he's getting the glamorous star shine he really wants. But is it really what you wanted, Aryu? Let's talk about it. Bachua did recognize Aryu's strength points, and I feel like with a good midfield team, he would be an insane striker. Like Wout Weghorst, the tall guy, or even, I don't really know tall strikers at the moment in football, like insanely tall strikers, but like he could have been a header king. Like in set pieces, the people could have been crossing the ball into him and he could have been scoring massive headers. He could have used his long legs to like score bare free kicks, or no, I don't think he would be able to score free kicks because his shot power and his offensive abilities isn't that good, except for his height. But yeah, whenever he would need his long legs to outreach a person with smaller legs, that would be very crucial. So I feel like with perfect wingers, or like a type of Ness/Charles player, Aryu could have exceeded as a header king of Bluelock, as he was very proactive, and he would have been also a good commander, as he is good at telling people what to do. And he honestly, I feel like he should have gone to FC Barcha. I feel like that would have been the best team, because he would have just had a stylish moment, and I feel like him and Bachua would have really connected, as I feel like Bachua was his best chemical reaction in all of Bluelock. So it means that he really reacts well with wingers. I could just see a scenario where Bachua always just passes it to Aryu and he scores, because there's not a lot of people who can stop him. Like the only ones I could actually see stopping him is Lorenzo and Kingi Sagi, or like any Metavision user, because they would read the shot course before it even makes it there. So as if it's not a header, they're going to stop Aryu if it comes to that, because they'll probably read the situation before they can, the ball makes it the full way to where Aryu can even reach it in the first place. Now, to end this video on a positive note, let's talk about his potential future. I do see him thriving as a defender throughout the rest of his Bluelock campaign, whether it be the World Cup qualifiers, his journey in Marseille, whether he goes to Europa or Champions League. Marseille's not a Champions League team, I don't think so. So I think European League, I think he can win a Europa Cup, because Man United is trash and not winning that anytime soon. As long as Liverpool ain't there and Sevilla isn't there, they're winning it. So I could see Aryu just thriving as a defender. For the Bluelock team, I don't think for the top 23, I don't think his place is going to be stolen as a defender. I think he's going to stay a defender for the Bluelock team for a long time. I think it'll be Aryu and IQ just dominating defense, and I think that's his journey in Bluelock. Just being a glamorous defender who makes stylish saves to protect his team. He could have been more. He could have been a stylish person who could have scored goals to save his team, but the way Bluelock is right now, I don't think they want to utilize his offensive weapons. So it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you all have a peaceful night and live life. Let me know if you guys want to see an Aryu to FC Barca or a Manshine City video. Like, I'm down for both of those. Even PXG would be a W for him at this stage. Anywhere but Ubers, because another reason why Aryu was negated down was Snuffy assigning him a specific role. So I feel like without that so much lenience to having to stick to your role, like nearly the whole Ubers team except for Barrow and that one instance where Nico was an anomaly, I feel like everyone in Ubers was stuck to their positions and couldn't really do anything about it. So yeah, I might make another Aryu video in the future about a team he could go to for the NEL, but that's for another day. Oh my gosh, I already said my outro and then I continue talking. Jesus is Lord. Anyway, bye. Peace.